Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about context logic, ticker symbol WISH. Now, this is a stock that gained a lot of momentum early on in the summer. However, more recently, it's taken an absolute beating along with the rest of the market. So in this video, I'm going to do two things. First off, I'm going to go over the bullish thesis, specifically two parts of the bullish thesis that are still very much intact and are very much compelling reasons to believe in the stock. And second off, as always, I'm going to take a look at the charts, breaking down key levels, key indicators, and more, so we know how to best play this stock moving forward. So without any further ado, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. So when it comes to the bullish thesis, one of the most compelling reasons to believe in this stock has to be the very impressive institutional ownership of WISH. As you can see right here, we are seeing all the major institutions currently do have some level of stake in the stock, over $1 million invested, with some major players like Morgan Stanley and Peter Thiel holding absolutely massive positions. That's a very good sign. Okay. These institutions aren't in the business of losing money. They know what they're doing. They're privy to certain information that the retail trader is not. And the fact that they have such large positions is a very good sign. It should at least, provide some comfort to any retail traders who are panicking due to this recent sell-off. Taking a look at these numbers a little more further, we are seeing that institutional ownership right now is currently sitting at 93%. That level is almost unheard of when it comes to a stock, especially a stock that has garnered so much momentum among retail traders. So that's a very impressive sign. And that once again goes to show you that if these institutions are ready to hold such a big position in the stock, why shouldn't the retail trader be comfortable holding that position as well? Final thing to take a look at when it comes to institutional ownership is just the overall spread. We currently see 187 total institutions invested in the stock, with 173 only having a long position in the stock. So that's a great breakdown. And as we see with just recent filings, more and more institutions continue to get involved. Today, the Cutler Group opened a massive position, over 560,000 shares. So like I said, that is a very compelling reason to believe that, this stock still has all the promise moving forward. But the second reason and second part of the bullish thesis that I want to go over is just, a couple of things stemming from this tweet right here. First off, this tweet is great because it shows you the growth of the company. Okay. We have 2016 numbers here, 2021 numbers here. We're seeing huge growth when it comes to revenue, profit, active users, and all that stuff. So that is a very amazing sign. And more importantly, when we take a look at these numbers, what stands out is this right here. Okay. We have about 3 billion in projected revenue in the year 2021. Meanwhile, the market cap for this stock is currently sitting under $6 billion. So that makes it a price to sales ratio of less than 2. Meanwhile, if we look at some of Wish's biggest competitors in the e-commerce space, we're going to see price to sales ratios a lot higher. Okay. For example, Amazon currently has a PS ratio of 4.36. That's almost 2 times the level of Wish's PS ratio. And that should alone tell you that the stock is very undervalued at these levels. A lot of times when it comes to these tech growth e-commerce companies, this is a much more normal ratio to hold, meaning that, we should be expecting, the price to be worth at least double if we are going to be in line with what the industry standard is. But all that being said, I think the bullish thesis is still intact. But now let's take a look at the chart and break it down a little bit further, starting off by just recapping the daily price action. Things started off pretty rough today. The market as a whole took a big dump in pre-market, and Wish was no exception to that. However, after the market opened, we did see some volume pour into the stock, and we slowly started to climb back, reclaim this 925 resistance level, went to push the 965 resistance level. Unfortunately, was not able to break through that. So we did fall, retest 925, and now we are pushing back to this 965 level. So looking very interesting with price action. But now when it comes to indicators, We are seeing that with about an hour left to go before market close. Wish is currently sitting above this yellow line, and this yellow line represents the volume weighted average price. So a lot can still happen with the hour left in market trading. However, this is a good sign, and if we are able to close above the VWAP, then that is a bullish signal heading into tomorrow. That means the bulls are in control heading into tomorrow. However, taking a look a little bit more longer term when it comes to moving averages with this stock, unfortunately, Wish is currently sitting below all my favorite moving averages to use as a trader. The closest moving averages I'm looking at is right here at 1062 is the 50-day moving average, and right at $11 is the 21-day exponential moving average. If we are able to reclaim those levels, then things are going to start to look a lot more bullish for the stock. However, at the current moment, things are looking bearish as far as the moving averages go. Final indicator to take a look at, this is one that is going to be a little bit more bullish, is the RSI. And as you guys can see, with this nasty sell-off that we've seen over the last month, Wish is now sitting in very oversold territories, almost to the point where it's gotten overextended. And as a result, we are seeing that sellers are going to get exhausted soon. Buyers are going to come back. And when the buyers and the momentum does come back, this stock is going to have a lot of room to run. So that is definitely a bullish indicator, and that's something to keep in mind as well. The selling just can't continue forever. But with all that being said, let's now take a look at our key levels heading into tomorrow. Starting on the support side, we do have this 925 level. It was used as support last Friday, and as again today, like I said, we did have to retest that level since we couldn't break over 965. And it held up pretty well in the afternoon. So that's a good sign. It shows that buyers are interested in buying at that level. After that, we do have 885, which was actually kind of near our low of the day. So that also is a pretty strong support level. If we do break below that, we do have support in this 850 to 860 level as well. When it comes to support levels, as always, I encourage that if you are interested in buying a position or adding to your position, you should try to target support levels for your buys. By doing so, you're going to end up minimizing your risk and maximizing your upside. So always try to keep those levels in mind and target those levels. But now let's take a look at the upside and resistance levels heading into tomorrow. So the first one is going to be this big level right here at 965. It served as big support last week, and then we broke it. It served as resistance. And today, once again, it's been serving as a pretty big resistance level. If we are able to break above that, then I do expect a retest of this 10 to 1020 level. If we can get above that, that's where things could start to look a lot more optimistic for the stock to, really curl around and reestablish bullish momentum. Because if we do get above 1020, then we are going to start retesting some of these moving averages. And if we can break above these moving averages, then I do expect a lot more momentum and volume to come back into the stock. So that is something to keep in mind. We do need to still get above 965 and 1020 first. But after that, signs of life are going to definitely come back into the stock. Final thing to take a look at is just going to be the volume. Today, we did see a little drop off in the volume compared to what we saw last week towards the later half of the week. However, what we are seeing is consistency. Okay. Over the last 2 weeks, we've kind of been just trailing in this 30 million to 50 million range. And, that is a lower volume than what we saw in early June and even late June, where we had these, 300 million days, 100 million days. But, if we do plateau and meanwhile, the sellers get exhausted, this is a good sign, because once that volume returns, we are going to see very clean price action to the upside. So continue to pay attention to volume. It's going to be your best indicator of when the stock is ready to curl and move back upwards. If we continue to stay at these low levels, then I don't expect much to happen to the upside. However, if we do see volume return, then we are much more likely to see that big push and that big next leg upwards for the stock. But let me know what you think happens next. I'm always very interested to hear your guys' feedback. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.